Welcome to another episode of Giving Them the Business, where we talk about this week's lines. We got a great week of games, by the way, a lot of games. But let's take a step back and talk about last week first, because last week we had some games, some upsets. We had two unbeaten teams that got beat outright.
We'll start out with a little college football here. Two top 10 undefeated with conference championship hopes that took a little bit of a hit in Michigan State and Wake Forest.
Yeah, I mean, we thought Wake was going to put up a bunch of points. They did. So did Carolina. And we were joking watching that game live saying, whoever has the ball last is going to win this game. Well, Carolina had the ball last.
That's right. But Wake Forest seemed to have that game not put away, but they were in control of that game and coughed up a huge lead in the third quarter. All of a sudden, here we go with Carolina, and Wake Forest just couldn't keep that momentum from the first half.
Yeah, you got to tip your caps to the line makers, man. Good Lord.
Nailed it.
I mean, on the number with a hook. The other game, A&M Auburn, that was the only two-ranked team game playing against each other. You got a little heat.
I did, and deservedly so.
By the way, my pops called right after the game went final and said, "Tell Ben that's what you get."
Look, I'll be the first to tell you, I underestimated the A&M defense.
They showed up.
They 100% did.
They scored the only touchdown in the game, by the way. Which is crazy to say that the A&M defense scored the only touchdown in the game. So.
That was not a pretty game by any means.
That was a good hard-nosed game, though.
On the defensive side of the ball. Again, give a lot of credit to the A&M defense there. Bo Nix and Auburn just I really don't know what to say. Just
didn't show up.
Never could get going.
They couldn't get anything going. I mean, and credit the A&M defense again. Another game though that you bet live on Saturday was Tulsa-Cincinnati.
This game should never have been as close as it was, but you had Tulsa at Cincinnati. Tulsa's with under 5 minutes to play, have the ball down 8. You're getting plus 2,000.
Hey.
Tulsa to win that game. It's a one-score game. Tulsa gets not one but two
chances, 2
possessions inside the 5-yard line. Can't get it done.
Fumbled into the end zone.
Look, kind of a tough beat, but if you're looking for betting opportunities, that was one that I found this past weekend. Didn't work out, but hey, you get one little thing to go your way. That's a heck of a value with under 5 to play.
Absolutely.
The dog with a chance to tie the game, get to overtime. Hey, it's worth a shot. I got beat, but hey, fun to watch.
That's why you always got to look at the live bets, in-game bets. You may find some value there, and you were damn close, man. You were damn close. NFL Week 9 recap, wild. I mean, Jags beat the Bills. Titans beat the Rams. I mean, we had some unexpected wins here.
7 money line dogs. 1 outright, 5 of which were on the road. Wild week. I mean, there's no logic behind that. I mean, hey, NFL is a game of inches, and dogs won last week. But I got to take a shot at you real quick. Your Dallas Cowboys were down 30-0 at one point against the Broncos at home. Hey, it ain't taking a shot if it's the truth. Cowboys offense never got off the bus.
No. Especially at home. I don't get that.
not really not sure what happened there, to be honest with you. Broncos came out of the gate hot. I think
Teddy Two Gloves.
I think the bigger concern here, and we'll get into this a little more later, is the Cowboys defense regressing back into
mid-season form.
Some old patterns here, but yeah, ugly game for the Cowboys. They've got questions to answer going forward.
One bet I did hit this weekend. Literally one bet that I did hit this weekend. Eagles Chargers over 49.5. Behind 34 second half points. Parlayed with the Packers plus the 7. Had to get that one late, but yeah, that was a wild turn of events watching both those games play out. But
it's good to come out of a crazy weekend with at least one of those shots out of the revolver hitting. That had to have been one of the last bullets in the gun.
Oh, it was.
But
it was.
A win is a win. You move on to this week with at least a little bit of cash in your pocket.
Yeah, we got some bullets for this weekend for sure. UFC, Gaethje, Thug Rose, Usman. What we were talking about last week with the Trevor Whitman, Coach Angle. All three of them won. Pretty cool.
Hey, when you're hot, you're hot, and he had the three best fighters. But the Gaethje fight was an absolute war. It
lived up to every hype angle you could say. So.
Yeah, 100%. A great card and really fun to watch.
Yeah. What about NASCAR? I mean, we got to recap your NASCAR.
We're gonna keep this short and sweet. Kyle Larson, we talked about last week, dominated the season. One of the quickest pit stops of this NASCAR season. They make with 24 laps to go, gets them out in front, and they win the race. Look, kudos to him and that team. They were the best all year.
I don't get a hat.
And my guy Chase Elliott doesn't win a title, but a deserving champion. A deserving champion. This is how this playoff system is supposed to work out. The best driver won the championship this season.
Denny, I'll get a hat next year, all right, buddy? That's all I can say. If Ben buys it, because I'm not buying a NASCAR hat. Anyways, all right, let's get into this week's games. Let's get past last week.
College football. We got a lot to get to. We got a lot of good games here this week. A lot
to cover, man. Number 6, Michigan. Now, these are the college football playoff rankings that we're using this week. So,
love them or hate them, these are the ones that matter.
Yeah, it sucks that these are the ones that matter. But Penn State's like ranked in the AP poll, but not in the college football playoffs. So, if that's what you're looking at, it is Michigan, number 6 in the country in the college football playoff, at Penn State. It's essentially a pick 'em.
Like Michigan rebounded last week to beat an Iowa team Indiana team, that they were obviously better than. We've talked about the Michigan rushing offense. They got away from that against Michigan State. They got back to it this week. Penn State, middle of the pack in the Big Ten as far as rushing defense. Michigan has to have this game to maintain any shot of winning, of getting to the Big Ten title game. Give me Michigan here. This half a point. This is basically a pick 'em. Give me Michigan on the road.
Yeah, I agree with you. Michigan averages 450 yards of offense total. Rushing and passing, 36 points per game. Penn State, 385 yards of offense, 26 points per game. Look, just on those numbers, and then you want to go with the storylines. They want a one-loss Michigan versus a one-loss Ohio State for the Big Ten title. Michigan rolls here, And it's just shaping up for these two teams to hit ahead with one loss going to the Big Ten title. That's what it's going to be, I think. And, give me Michigan here. Mississippi State, Auburn. Auburn coming off loss at A&M last week, which you call a little hell for. Auburn minus 5.5 at home.
This is an interesting game because Mississippi State has the leading passer in the SEC in Will Rogers. We've talked about him before. And this Mississippi State team did beat A&M in College Station last month. I do think
you might catch hell for that too, by the way.
Hey, that's not an opinion. That is a statement of fact.
I hear you.
I do think Auburn rebounds off of their disaster of a game last week, but I think this one stays close. I think Auburn wins outright, but give me Mississippi State plus the points.
I hear you. Auburn, they only had 73 yards rushing last week. They're a team that runs the ball 150 yards plus a game. It just, the A&M defense, I don't know. They haven't been showing up that much lately, but they showed up last week. I just think they ran into something at A&M. I think they get back on track at home here. I'm going to take Auburn minus 5.5, getting back on track. Let's go to the Big 12. Number 8, Oklahoma, minus 5.5 at number 13, Baylor.
Let's see what Oklahoma's really got here.
Yep.
That's my thinking going into this game. Look, Baylor's Big 12 hopes really took a shot last week with a loss at TCU.
Who Oklahoma beat handedly.
Yes. Caleb Williams coming off of the best game of his season, over 400 yards, 6 touchdowns, granted against Texas Tech. Oklahoma's 1-2 against the spread on the road in Big 12 play. Baylor 4-0 at home this season. This is going to be a tight game. Should be a good game. I'm going to take Baylor plus the 5.5.
I hear you. But since Caleb took over at quarterback, they dropped 55 on Texas, 52 on TCU, 35 on Kansas because I don't think they took them seriously enough, and 52 on Texas Tech. I don't know if Baylor's going to score enough points here. I'm going to take Oklahoma minus 5.5. I mean, I just think Oklahoma scores too many points here. And Caleb's been playing good, man. All right, this is the game. Game of the week. I mean, there's no other game in time. Like, this is the game of the week, right?
Tell me about it, man.
I got Miami.
Look, this is
literally. I mean, look, that's what it says. My notes.
This is a huge rivalry. Dates back to 1951. University of Miami has won the last 4 contests. Let's get back to current times. Miami last 5 games have been decided by 4 points or less. They've won the last 3 games. They're figuring out how to win close ball games behind Tyler Van Dyke. Last 3 games, averaging 380 yards a game, 10 touchdowns to 1 interception. They're not turning the ball over like they were early in the year. Look, Miami. And 2.5, I think, is even on the road. They figure out a way to get there.
It's going to come down to a field goal. Both teams are bad.
Which direction? Left or right?
No.
Where's Florida State miss?
Miami's going straight through the middle. I don't know where Florida State's going. They can pick left or right. But,
hey, when you talk about this rivalry, you talk about it coming down to a field goal.
For sure.
I'm asking which direction Florida State's missing.
Well, I'm taking Miami minus 2.5. They're going to win by 3. So it's going straight through the middle.
I'm with you on that one.
At the end of the game. So, hey, Canes. Let's go, Canes. Come on. I got nothing else.
Hey.
Literally, I didn't write anything else down. I just said Miami. Like, what do you think I'm going to do? Get this damn helmet here. Get my koozie. what are we doing? Like, yeah. Could have been 5.5. I'm taking the Canes. Even though I have no faith in them. All right, let's get away from these guys. Jesus.
Back to the Big Ten here.
Yeah, which is even worse. Anyways, 19 Purdue at number 4 Ohio State. Ohio State had a big number, man. Minus 20.5 here.
Purdue, another big upset last week. That's their 17th win against an AP top 5 team while being unranked. That's most in FBS history.
Because they're never ranked. Anytime they beat a ranked team, it's because they're unranked.
Hold on. But 17 times, that's a huge number.
Is that the only amount of, like, they've only beaten a ranked team 17 times, or top 5 team 17 times?
That one I cannot confirm for you. Anyway, that's a hell of a stat.
I would venture to say that they're unranked every single time.
Well, according to that stat, they definitely are.
Any ranked team, for that matter.
Look, it doesn't happen this week, but the 20.5 scares me. Ohio State money line, unless that number comes down, and I don't see it happen.
Yeah, I'm on the other side. I think Purdue with strong wins against Iowa, Michigan State. They beat Nebraska, which is not a huge win, but they're on a little bit of a roll here. Conference game. I know it's at Ohio State at the Horseshoe. If Ohio State beats me by 3 touchdowns, so be it. I'll tip my cap to you. But give me Purdue plus the points, and let's root for a closer game. I mean, taking a stab here. I'm not a huge fan of Ohio State, so I can't really root for them. But then again, I think Ohio State wins this game. Going back to what we were saying about Michigan and Ohio State, I think the world wants to see a 1-loss Ohio State, 1-loss Michigan. I know I hate to say it, but that's how these things work, and they want to see this game happen. I think Ohio State wins. Hey, give me Purdue plus the points.
I don't blame you there. I could see this being a huge letdown game for Purdue, or I could see them continuing that momentum and keeping this close. That's why I'm taking
the money.
Ohio State money line, even though that's a huge number at minus 1,100.
Yeah.
20 is a big number in this one.
Well, you put it on a parlay card, parlay it with something else that you like, a couple other teams you like. That minus 1,100 doesn't hurt you too much there.
Find some dogs to put that around, and you can get a little value there.
Yeah, for sure. We got Georgia, number 1 Georgia, minus 20.5 at Tennessee. Old Rocky Top, huh?
Hey,
I don't think so.
I just got done saying 20 is a big number. Not here. You got Georgia D averaging less than 7 a game against a Tennessee team that
6.6 for real this time.
Yes. But a Tennessee team that can't play much D. They've allowed 42 a game their last 3 against lesser. Give me Georgia minus the 20. I'll take Georgia and the points here. Not a problem.
It's funny, I saw both teams average 38 a game scoring. There's no way that Tennessee scores 38 here. No, if Tennessee, you score 38 here,
and Georgia may outdo their average.
They may score 70. I don't know, but I don't think Tennessee scores 38 here.
No, not a chance. Not a chance in hell.
I don't think they come close. With that said, I got Georgia by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Next up, we got a good one here.
Yep.
Number 11 Texas A&M minus 2.5 at Ole Miss. At Ole Miss. I mean, A&M defense showed up last week versus Auburn. Different animal this week, with the Lane Kiffin-led Ole Miss offense. They're a little banged up with Corral. Struggled a little bit, I'd say, with Liberty last week. But you know where I stand on this.
I know exactly where you stand, and I'm not going to vary from you much. A&M beat an Auburn team last week that beat Ole Miss by 11 2 weeks ago. The Aggies got to Bo Nix 4 times last week. If they could take that defense, if that defense could take that show on the road, they're going to be tough to beat. This is a must-win for A&M to have any shot at the SEC West. Give me A&M money line in what should be a tight game in Oxford.
Going up against a Lane Kiffin offense, the A&M offense didn't score a touchdown last week. You have to score touchdowns against Ole Miss. Unless you score multiple defensive touchdowns, then okay. But they're going to have to step up a little bit scoring on offense. I mean, you just can't kick field goals your entire life and expect to win football games. I'm with you. I don't like the number. If you're going to take the number, if you're going to take -2.5 at -110, -130 is not that big of a difference if you're going to parlay it with anything. So give me A&M money line here. Of course, I love A&M, but last week the defense showed up, but not the offense. Let's see if they can put both things together this week. But I'm skeptical, and I'm taking the money line just like you are.
Yep.
We got NC State and Wake. Wake -1.5 coming off that tough loss at Carolina last week. That was a tough loss for them.
Like I said in the recap, I mean, they let that game get away from them. They had an 18-point lead midway through the third quarter, and Carolina erased that very quickly. Getting back to this matchup, look, offense versus offense, NC State can't outscore Wake.
No,
they do not have the offensive firepower to do it.
But Wake's defense has literally been MIA all year, giving up 435 yards of offense. So, I mean, I understand what you're saying with the NC State offense, but Wake almost wants you to score so they can go score again.
What NC State's got going for them is their defense. 16 points per game leads the ACC. They got 10 picks on the year, which also leads the ACC. This defense needs to keep this game, needs to keep the Wake offense around 30 points, 30, 35 points, kind of a bend, don't break.
Good luck.
And turn touchdowns into field goals. I hear what you're saying. Good luck with that. But I'm telling you, that's what State needs to do in order to have a shot to win this ball game. I think this game is close. I just think Wake's offense is too strong for NC State. Give me Wake. The bigger question for me, why is this game stuck on ACC Network?
It's two ranked teams, man. I don't get it either.
And look, this game is.
I've been fighting places
for the ACC Coastal.
I've been fighting places for TVs for a long time. Now you're just going to throw it on a channel that.
Why?
I hear you.
That to me is a travesty for a game of this magnitude in the ACC. When, look, quite frankly, they haven't had many big games this season. This should be a great ball game, and it's stuck on the network.
Oh, it is.
Sorry, there's my rant.
Right,
there's my rant for the show right there.
I hear you. Well,
unbelievable.
All right, let's recap all those games that we just talked about. I'm going Michigan plus. Well, it's a pick 'em. It doesn't matter. Michigan in a pick 'em. Auburn -5.5. Oklahoma -5.5. Miami -2.5. I mean, Purdue and all of them points. Georgia, I think, rolls -20.5. I think you talked me into the A&M -130 money line. And I'll take Wake minus the 1.5.
Yeah, I think that Auburn Mississippi State game is close. Closer than 6 points anyway. Baylor finds a way to keep it close. I think this is a one-score ball game. Baylor could win this game outright.
They very well could at home for sure in the Big 12. Home field advantage is a big thing in the Big 12, by the way.
Yeah. Other than that, like I'm not confident in Ohio State and 20 points, but they're going to win this game outright. Those are the only differences that we have on the college side, but a huge college docket for this week.
Yeah, I mean, look at this ticket. It's full. I got no more games to even put on. We'd have to do 2 tickets if we had any more games, which we may in the future. You never know. All right, let's get into some NFL action here. Why don't we? Got to start with your boys, right? Falcons, Cowboys. Cowboys minus 8.5. Just ended their streak on covering, by the way.
Yeah, I guess if we got to start anywhere, we might as well start with them. Look, their offense is not my concern. Like I spoke earlier about in the show, it's their defense. Allowed 30 points to Denver at home and haven't created a turnover in 2 games. The Cowboys need to prove to me that what happened last week was a fluke on both sides of the ball. I'm going to take Falcons plus the points here because I have zero confidence in the Cowboys defense right now.
I'm gonna go opposite here. I think last week was kind of an anomaly per se. Yeah, they were down 30-0 at one point against the Broncos. But the Falcons did just dodge a bullet against the Saints. I mean, the Saints should have beat them. And the Saints with Trevor Siemian. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, it's not the greatest quarterback, you know. I mean, he did beat Tom Brady week prior, but taking that out of the equation, I mean, look, this is the only loss against the spread for the Cowboys, against the Broncos. I'm gonna take Dak second off the second game back after the missing a game in the bye week with a full week of practice. I think the Cowboys get on track here, and I don't think the Falcons are that good. So, give me minus the 8.5. I think they win by 10.
You spoke very true words. The Falcons are not that good, and Dak does get back to form next week
with a full week of practice.
100%.
I just need the defense to stop somebody.
That defense has problems, and that's going to be a problem going forward.
All right, let's get into Saints Titans. Titans, man, they're reeling off some wins, ain't they?
Look, that win last week against the Rams was done on the defensive side of the ball. They got to Stafford 5 times, picked him off twice, turned those 2 turnovers into 14 points. The offense otherwise was very unimpressive, limited to 194, was helped out by 12 Rams penalties. I honestly thought that the Saints may be better without Jameis Winston.
And they've showed that they haven't. I mean, they
well,
beat the Bucs. They should have beat the Falcons last week.
They had a tough time getting going last week against a lesser Falcons team. Hell of a fourth quarter rally to mount a comeback, nearly win that game.
And hit my in-game parlay, by the way.
Hey, a win's a win. Look, the Saints may struggle, but if the Titans' defense continues to play at this high a level, they can make up for, at least in this matchup, make up for any offensive deficiencies that the lack of Derrick Henry creates. Give me Tennessee minus the points here.
I think Tennessee getting back home after 2 straight road games is a huge thing here. I mean, they're coming off wins versus the Bills, versus the Chiefs, obviously at home, and then at the Colts and at the Rams. I mean, those teams are pretty good in like the playoff picture we're talking about. Maybe not the Colts by any means, but I mean, they're playing against tougher, and they're beating tougher. Look, they've beaten better quarterbacks than Trevor Siemian. Give me the Titans coming at home minus the 3. I like it. This one's a good, sneaky good game, by the way.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Browns at the Patriots minus 1.5.
I was completely wrong about the Browns last week. I think
a lot of people were.
They looked very good against the Bengals, but granted, against a Bengals team that is now lost to the Jets, and then just completely didn't show up against the Browns. So what do you take from that win for the Browns? Look, Mac Jones continues to improve in his rookie season. He's turned the ball over just once in the last 3 weeks after giving it away 6 times in the first 6 games. The Browns are going to be without Nick Chubb here in this game.
After testing positive.
That's correct.
Yep.
But they
for
do
COVID. No, just COVID.
But they do have Dearness Johnson, who put up a heck of a performance 2 back with Nick Chubb out. I like the Browns here on the road. It's a 1.5. I just think the Browns are a better team right now.
I hear you. And just to be contrarian, the Pats are on a 3-game winning streak after an overtime loss to the Cowboys. Again, like I said earlier, I think the Patriots are playing better against better. So I like the Patriots here. At 1.5, I like that. And I think Mac Jones getting on a roll and being at home. Home field advantage will be a key in this game. Yeah, I like the Pats.
Moving on.
Bills minus 13 at the Jets. No way. Absolutely no way. The Bills lose outright to the Jags and outright to the Jets in back-to-back weeks.
If they do, there is something majorly wrong in Buffalo. Somebody explain to me what happened last week because I have no idea. That doesn't happen again. I think the Bills come back
at 2 touchdowns.
Hold
I'll
on.
take
The
that.
Bills get not only get back to form, but absolutely put a whooping on the Jets. The one thing the Jets do have going for them, superstar Mike White
Lightning
will be starting quarterback. Let's see what he can do against the top-ranked defense in the NFL.
Or how long he lasts. He didn't last too long last week. Anyways, all I wrote down was Bills don't lose to Jags and Jets in consecutive weeks. That's it. Move on. That's literally what I wrote down right there. We're moving on. Panthers at Cardinals. Cardinals minus 10.5. How about that Cardinals last week, man?
No Kyler. No Chase Edmonds. No problem.
Cole McCoy, man. Cole McCoy is savior. It's not the first time he's won a big game filling in.
Your boy,
Yeah,
as I said last week.
Hold on, not my boy.
Hold on. Don't look.
Hey,
he loves to root for that guy.
I take offense to where he came from.
After a W. All right, don't let him fool you.
He did beat the Cowboys on Monday Night Football for my Redskins. But
Look,
he did go to the University of Texas, and I will always hold that against him. Always. But does Kyler come back against Panthers?
We won't know that until the end of the week.
I did see that. This might be late news to you. Darnold IR.
Darnold IR. Incomplete fracture of his shoulder blade.
Incomplete, not a complete fracture.
He couldn't even complete a fracture.
That makes sense. Well,
I can't take credit for that.
He is very good at completing passes. Most of the time, they're the other team.
Yeah. No,
touchdowns, everything.
Incomplete fracture of his scapula. He's going to be out multiple weeks.
What does that mean? Incomplete fracture.
Did not cross the entire scapula.
So it is a fracture.
Correct.
But not complete.
Incomplete.
Only Sam Darnold could have that damn injury. I mean, I don't know. What else you got? I got Cardinals minus the 10.5. No, Sam Darnold. Not that was that should be a positive for the Panthers, in my opinion. Who plays quarterback for them?
P.J. Walker. You know who P.J. Walker is?
I just know that's Pete Aiello's boy.
Okay, then you'll understand why.
XFL, right?
Yeah, I have no idea.
XFL.
I'm taking
No, XFL.
I'm taking Cardinals here, but money line considering Murray's uncertainty. The Panthers do.
What are you saying? Cole McCoy can't do it 2 weeks in a row?
Look, the Cardinals are going to win this ball game. The Panthers,
covered last week, bro.
As inept as they are on the offensive side of the ball,
he would have covered this number last week.
They have a pretty decent defense. Like, there's too much uncertainty in this game for me to take the Cardinals and a touchdown and a half. Like, give me money line. I may change it up come Sunday, but yeah, that's
I change all kinds of bets.
That's where I stand right now.
Right on. Colt McCoy, man. All right, let's get out of that. Seahawks at the Packers minus 3.5. This is kind of a funky game here because you get Russell Wilson back with the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
Packers get Aaron Rodgers back.
Mm-hmm.
Who's shaking off more rust?
Oh, definitely Russell Wilson with the modern medical miracle of the century, according to Dr. Shin.
According to his doctor, he's the hardest working man on the planet, I think. But I thought McAfee had that. McAfee
did report that.
No, owns like the hardest working man in sports. Well, that's according to him, but what do I know?
Hold on. You can't call yourself the hardest working man in sports.
What are you talking about? Dion called himself primetime. Your boy.
And your boy. Don't forget about that.
No,
he played for your Skins. Look.
He wore 37 because he was 37 years old when we got him.
And still probably better than most of the secondary y'all had.
Still to this day.
Look.
And you want to talk about my secondary.
Look, give me the Packers minus the points here. I ain't going off on Dion right now. Look, if Aaron is back, you may have to wait till Sunday to put this bet on. But as long as he's back, look, Seattle still has huge defensive problems. They've been terrible against good teams. Give me the Packers minus points.
The uncertainty of both quarterbacks, in my opinion, especially with Rodgers coming back from COVID, just 11 days. I mean, he's not even allowed back into the Packers facility until Saturday.
That's right.
So all he's getting is a walkthrough Saturday with his team. Is he ready to go? Has he been throwing? I have no idea. Only Pat McAfee and AJ Hawk know. But
hold on, he's getting an extra bye week here. It's not like he's been laying in bed on an IV.
I don't know how sick he was. Nobody does. But look,
Ron's good to go.
3 in the hook. I'll take plus the 3 in the hook.
I'll take Aaron off his own bye week.
Yeah. I hear you. I'm just taking with two uncertain quarterbacks coming back playing. Hey, if you win by a field goal, I win. All right.
Fair enough.
Chiefs, Raiders. The only reason I put this on here is because the Chiefs can't cover a damn spread to save their lives.
I hate this game. I hate this game.
I know. And it's funny because I took the Chiefs money line because they don't cover spread. They just don't cover spreads.
2-6 on the year. They've been favored in every game this season.
They're favored again in this game.
Yep.
And I'm taking a money line because they should win this game, in my opinion, because they have the better team. Where is Mahomes? Why is Mahomes not an elite quarterback?
You and I have talked about this. I believe, and this is an armchair analyst sitting back here. I think their issues stem from the offensive line and filter down. But look, this Raiders D is actually decent against the pass. 6.3 yards per attempt is second in the league, only behind Buffalo. Look, these division games on the road are naturally tough matchups. Give me the Raiders.
I hear you. Chiefs in a dome. It's essentially what the Raiders is. It's a dome stadium. I'm taking the Chiefs. They got to get on track at some point, right? And until they prove me wrong, they've been proving me wrong all year. But I did take Packers plus the 7 last week against the Chiefs, and they only scored 13 points against the Packers. No spread for me. Chiefs money line. Let's call it a game. All right, let's recap what we took.
A lot of big differences here. I'm taking the Falcons to cover. Cowboys should win this game, but like 9 points may be big. Titans, Browns here. Browns on the road. Yeah.
We're different there.
Yeah. Bills, Cardinals. You're going to take the points. He was straight up with the uncertainty with Kyler Murray. Love the Packers. Love the Packers here. And yeah, I will take the Raiders in this AFC West matchup at home.
I got you. I think the Cowboys get back on track with the 8.5 here at home versus Falcons. Can't have two straight home games where you just lay an egg. Titans. Hey, I think they're the front runner in the AFC right now. They've proven that with the last few games. Give them to me -3. Pats -1.5 at home versus the Browns. I actually really like that game. Yeah, Bills aren't losing to the Jets. I think they roll. Yeah, Cardinals. Hey, Kyler Murray or Colt McCoy. The Panthers are not good. I'll take all them points. Cardinals minus them. Seahawks. I think this is closer than everybody thinks. Give me them plus the points. And give me Chiefs money line because I don't trust them covering any spread whatsoever. Yeah, that's it for the NFL picks. I know the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, and college basketball is well underway. We had some college basketball last night with Duke and Kentucky. Don't worry, we're going to get into that. But in my brain, college basketball doesn't start till the first of the year. So we will get into that. We will get into NBA. We will get into NHL. But football's king.
Football, you said it. Football is king. And, hey, if you guys have a game in the NHL, NBA, college basketball, you want us to talk about, drop it in the comments section, please. Hey, and we'll talk about it.
We may get some CFL in here. You never know. I am a CFL fan, by the way, but I don't know how many people are, but I am. We may talk about it. Grey Cup coming up.
Speaking of CFL, we have another ex-CFL kicker coming into the league this week for my Dallas Cowboys.
Greg the Leg's out. That's right.
Greg the Leg's out with COVID. I cannot pronounce this guy's name, but supposed to be a hell of a kicker in the CFL. Yeah, let's see what the fuck happens.
Hey, by the way, the Redskins they blew it. He blew it. We blew it too. We're out of here. We gotta go. It's too long. We've been here way too long.
Like, subscribe, comment. See y'all later.
All right. See y'all later.